Meanwhile, let's go down to Aiken, South Carolina. Ted Cruz, who would like to be our next president of the United States, joins us live. Good morning to you, Senator.
Good morning. Good to be with you.
Great to have you. I know over the weekend you said that you would absolutely filibuster the president's nominee to replace Justice Scalia. Why would you do that? Explain it to our audience.
Well, listen, Justice Scalia's passing really underscores the stakes of what this election are all about. The Supreme Court is exquisitely balanced. Justice Scalia was a lion on the court. He was someone I've known for 20 years. He spent decades on the court defending the Constitution. And for the last 80 years, the Senate has not confirmed any nominee nominated during an election year. And we should not do so this time either. This nomination could dramatically alter the balance of power on the U.S. Supreme Court. And we have an election going on right now. I believe we should make the 2016 election a referendum on the Supreme Court. And I got to tell you, I cannot wait to stand on that debate stage with Hillary Clinton or Bernie Sanders and make the case to the American people, because one more liberal justice and we will see our fundamental rights taken away. We will see the court mandating unlimited abortion on demand. We will see the court effectively erasing the Second Amendment right to keep and bear arms from the Constitution, and we would see the court dramatically undermining the religious liberty of Americans all across this country. I don't think the American people want that, but we've got an election coming up to decide that.
And, Senator, I know that's how you feel, but how would you feel if it was a Republican president and a minority Democratic Senate? Would you be on the other side of the issue?
Well, that was actually the position of the Democrats. Chuck Schumer had that position when it was a Republican president. Actually, he said the last 18 months of George W. Bush's tenure, they shouldn't confirm any Supreme Court justices. So that's been what the Democrats do. We have an election. This election is coming up in November, just a few months from now. This election will decide it. And you know, I called for the Senate not to take up this confirmation. I was very pleased to see Republican leadership following what I called for and saying we're not going to take it up. That's the right thing to do, and it's the respect that the American people are owed. You know, when it comes to what is at stake in this election, very little compares to preserving our constitutional rights, our religious liberty, our Second Amendment. And I'll tell you, I think that was one of the things in the debate we had this weekend that really has changed the dynamic of the Republican presidential race, is that people are realizing we need to nominate someone who we can trust to pick strong, principled constitutionalists to the court, because if we don't do it, we'll lose our basic rights.
Senator Cruz, and your principles have actually been attacked by some of the other GOP candidates, Senator Marco Rubio in particular. I want to get your response to this exchange during the debate. Listen.
We've got a soundbite.
Marco went on Univision in Spanish and said he would not rescind President Obama's illegal executive amnesty on his first day in office. I have promised to rescind every single illegal executive action, including that one.
I don't know how he knows what I said on Univision, because he doesn't speak Spanish. And second of all, the other point that I would make...
Marco, si quieres, díselo ahora mismo, díselo ahora. En español, si quieres.
And there you went and showed that you do know how to speak Spanish. But he also, on Fox News Sunday, Senator Rubio said he lied about his position on marriage and Planned Parenthood, and we all saw what he did to Dr. Ben Carson. Your response?
Well, listen, you know, I mean, it really is an amazing thing that both Marco Rubio and Donald Trump, whenever anyone points to their actual record, they have this strange practice of just screaming liar. If you look at what I said there, every word I said was true and factual and accurate. I pointed out that Marco Rubio in Florida supported and voted for in-state tuition for illegal aliens. That is true. That's a fact. He doesn't like that fact, but it is a fact. I pointed out that he went on Univision and told Jorge Ramos that he would not rescind President Obama's illegal executive action on the first day in office. That is true. That's a fact. And by the way, I will rescind the illegal executive action on the first day in office. As I observed in the debate, Marco Rubio's position right now today is that we should grant citizenship to all 12 million people here illegally. That is his position today. That's true, and it's a fact. And he said it from the debate stage just a couple of debates ago. And yet I guess Marco's team has told him, well, if anyone brings up your actual record, the fact that over and over and over again you've supported amnesty, just yell liar. Just scream, you're lying, you're lying, you're lying.
Well,
it's the same thing Donald Trump does, and it's very curious because you can bring up the video and watch Marco saying it from his own mouth, but yet I guess his team has decided instead you should just insult people and claim it's a lie, and they're hoping
we did hear a lot of
to
the liar
confuse the
word.
voters.
You're right, over the weekend in a number of capacities. You are down in South Carolina. You had the debate in South Carolina. This upcoming weekend is all about South Carolina. The very latest CBS Battleground poll has come out. It turns out currently Donald Trump has his biggest lead so far. He's at 42%. You're at 20%. Marco Rubio is at 15%. And John Kasich, followed by Jeb Bush and then Ben Carson. How in the next week, Senator, are you going to close a gap with Donald Trump?
Well, let me point out something on what you said in the beginning, where you said we've heard the word liar over and over again. This is where the truth matters. It is a fact that Marco supported illegal immigrants getting in-state tuition. There's no gray about it. It is an absolute fact, and there's a legislative record.
How are you going to close the gap, Senator? Senator, how are you going to close the gap with Donald Trump? I know you're going aggressively at him yesterday.
Actually, those polling numbers are predominantly taken before the debate. What we are seeing happening is Donald's numbers are plummeting after the debate. And I think it's a couple of things. I think, number one, the time for the circus, I think, is over. People realize, particularly with Justice Scalia's passing, that the stakes are serious, that we need a serious nominee who will defend the Constitution. And listen, Donald, I like Donald personally. He's a very talented entertainer. But he has been a liberal his entire life. He has, for 60 years of his life, described himself as very, very pro-choice. He has supported partial birth abortion. Even on the stage, this weekend, he supported taxpayer funding for Planned Parenthood. He called me a liar when I said it. And
he says his transformation is akin to Ronald Reagan's.
And from the but the difference is Ronald Reagan became a conservative. Donald Trump has never become a conservative. And you know why we know that Donald would appoint liberals to the U.S. Supreme Court? We know that because for 4 decades he has been giving money to liberals, from Jimmy Carter. He supported Jimmy Carter against Ronald Reagan. Right. He's given money multiple times to Hillary Clinton. He's given money to Chuck Schumer. He's given money to Harry Reid.
And he's also given money to Republicans,
He has given money to John Kerry. He supported John Kerry against George W. Bush.
But he did support Senator John McCain.
Right. What he has said is being a businessman in New York, he's had to give money to everybody. Real quick, 10 seconds.
But hold on. Let me finish this point. Anyone that writes checks to John Kerry and Chuck Schumer and Harry Reid does not care about putting conservative justices on the court, because those individuals fought tooth and nail to prevent conservative justices, and we are one justice away from losing the Second Amendment. If you vote for Donald Trump, we will see the Second Amendment written out of the Constitution because one liberal justice will do that.
Gotcha. Senator
and we will also see
Senator Ted Cruz, thanks so much. Thanks so much. I know how busy you are. I know every moment counts. Sleep takes a back seat. So thanks so much for getting up with us this morning. And I look forward to an exciting finish in the next 5 days.
Yep, we appreciate it.
Thank you very much. God bless.
Enjoy South Carolina.